Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into how you can transform 10 essential plants right into your home's natural first layer of wellness. Look, if you've ever felt that quiet frustration of constantly digging through the medicine cabinet for every minor ache, every sniffle, or just another sleepless night, you're definitely not alone. For thousands of years, people literally kept a small garden right outside their door. And it wasn't just for looks, right? It was their medicine. So today, we're going to reclaim that forgotten knowledge. Okay, here's our roadmap for building your comprehensive home apothecary. We're going to start with the forgotten first layer, then move into remedies for calming the mind, boosting immunity, easing digestion, and finally, we'll wrap up with how to actually plant this garden yourself.
All right, Section 1. The forgotten first layer. From the garden to the pill bottle.
For generations, human beings relied on a small, totally functional medicinal garden just steps from their door. We're talking about plants like chamomile and yarrow being absolute household staples. Families intimately understood them, they relied on them for daily ailments. But over just a few short generations, a massive shift happened. We essentially developed this collective amnesia, right? We completely forgot centuries of plant knowledge and traded the self-reliance of our own backyards for a total dependency on the pharmacy. Now, it's absolutely crucial to frame this correctly. Look, modern medicine is an absolute marvel for acute emergency care. If you have a severe infection or, heaven forbid, a broken bone, you need a doctor, for sure. But for foundational daily wellness, say a minor headache, a scraped knee, or just tossing and turning all night, that is where plants really shine. These 10 plants serve as a proven, highly accessible first layer of wellness. They're backed by both centuries of traditional use and, honestly, extensive modern research. They're exactly what you want to reach for first, long before you even think about grabbing something stronger. Moving on to Section 2, Calming Mind and Sleep, Natural Remedies for Rest and Relaxation. So, let's talk about lavender. It is so much more than just a relaxing candle scent, guys. It's a literal powerhouse. Clinical studies have actually shown that lavender oil can reduce anxiety to the exact same degree as some prescription drugs. But here's the kicker: absolutely no risk of dependency. It's wild. And beyond just calming your mind, its antibacterial properties make it super effective for treating skin issues like acne and psoriasis. Oh, and get this, if you massage that same oil into your scalp, it stimulates blood flow to the hair follicles, which has actively been shown to slow hair loss. A real game changer. Now, if you need a much deeper rest, the California poppy can be brewed into a really simple tea right before bed. And hey, before you worry, let me stop you. It is completely legal, totally non-addictive, and actually has absolutely nothing to do with opium. What it really does is just gently dial down your nervous system. It pulls you right out of that modern fight-or-flight stress loop we're all stuck in. Think of it as a gentle sedative that helps you achieve the kind of effortless restorative sleep you used to have as a kid. And the best part? You completely avoid that awful groggy hangover you usually get from synthetic sleep aids. All right, Section 3, Immunity and Wound Healing, Nature's First Aid Kit. Okay, want to stop a cold dead in its tracks? You can whip up a highly effective echinacea remedy right in your own kitchen. It's super simple. You just slice the roots thinly, simmer them in water for about 30 minutes, and drink that tea hot the literal second you feel a tickle in your throat. Echinacea is amazing because it rapidly stimulates your body's white blood cell production. The problem is, commercially, those supplements you buy are frequently overprocessed or even counterfeited with really cheap fillers. By growing it and simmering it yourself, you guarantee the potency you actually need to reduce the severity and duration of that cold. Let's take a quick trip back in time. Imagine being a Greek soldier carrying yarrow into battle. They literally relied on this plant because it actively causes blood to clot faster, while simultaneously throwing up an antimicrobial barrier over the wound. Fast forward to the 1860s, and you've got Civil War surgeons packing open wounds with calendula flowers just to stave off infection on the battlefield. Today, we can easily harness that profound historical validation. By turning yarrow and calendula into simple, homemade salves, we're basically creating a completely natural, heavy-hitting first aid kit for our own medicine cabinets. And we need to talk about calendula's hidden superpower. It has this incredibly rare ability to move sluggish lymphatic fluid. Think of your lymphatic system as your body's internal drainage network. When it gets backed up, man, you really feel it. So while a calendula salve is brilliantly treating surface wounds and burns on the outside, drinking calendula tea works internally. It flushes out metabolic waste and the lingering remnants of old infections. If you're someone who struggles with unexplainable chronic fatigue, weird swelling, or you just keep getting sick, clearing out that cellular waste through lymphatic support is absolutely huge. Which brings us to Section 4, Digestion and Chronic Relief, soothing the stomach and easing pain. Did you know chamomile actually earned the historical nickname the gardener's doctor? It's true. If you plant chamomile next to a struggling or wilting plant, it acts almost like a botanical nurse, frequently reviving its neighbor. And guess what? It has a similarly profound, relaxing effect inside the human body. Whether you're soothing a baby's colic or trying to ease severe indigestion and bloating, its core superpower is physically relaxing the smooth muscles of the digestive tract. It is basically a mandatory calming agent for every single home. And yes, before you ask, this is the actual original plant that fluffy marshmallows were made from. For really painful conditions like stomach ulcers or acid reflux, you'll want to do a simple cold extraction with marshmallow roots. Basically, you slice up a few roots, let them sit in cold water for a few hours, and you extract this thick, viscous, sap-like compound called mucilage. When you drink that cold liquid, it travels down and physically coats your throat and your entire digestive tract. It acts exactly like a protective internal bandage, bringing you immediate and really lasting relief to severe internal inflammation. Now, for highly complex chronic issues, these 3 specialized plants offer some seriously incredible relief. First, for complex nerve pain and hormonal imbalances, we have evening primrose. It provides these rare essential fatty acids that our bodies actually can't produce naturally, but desperately need for healthy nerve cells. Then, for joint inflammation, there's chicory. Its deep taproot is highly prized for chicoric acid, which is a super potent anti-inflammatory. And finally, for severe migraines, Feverfew. Listen, if you chew a few of its leaves at the very first aura or sign of a migraine, its active compound, parthenolide, actively works to stop the blood vessel constriction that triggers the whole debilitating attack. It's phenomenal. Let's wrap things up with Section 5, planting your own garden, bringing the knowledge home. When you bring these 10 specific plants together, you are building an absolutely comprehensive first layer of wellness. From easing your digestion to finally inducing deep sleep, from boosting your immunity to dramatically lowering joint inflammation, this specific combination covers an incredibly wide spectrum of daily health needs. By planting them all together, you are quite literally turning a small patch of dirt into a living, breathing medicine cabinet. To make this accessible to absolutely anyone, regardless of whether you have a green thumb or not, biologist and herbalist Nicole Appelian created the Medicinal Garden Kit, and her story is incredible. Nicole essentially saved her own life using these exact plants to naturally manage her severe multiple sclerosis for over 20 years. She curated these 10 specific plants into one single kit, and it comes complete with a really comprehensive guide that details exactly how to grow them, and more importantly, how to turn them into your own tinctures, teas, and salves at home. 4,818. That is the exact number of high-quality, non-GMO seeds you get to start with. Think about that for a second. You don't need a massive backyard, you don't need a fancy greenhouse, or a ton of money to make this work. You literally just need a little bit of soil, the willingness to plant these seeds, and then you just watch your very own first layer of wellness spring to life. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought to chew on regarding your own daily health journey. Are you going to continue to rely solely on the pill bottle for every single minor ache, pain, and sleepless night? Or are you ready to reclaim this ancient knowledge and actually grow your own first layer of wellness? Honestly, this knowledge belongs to all of us. It is quite literally just waiting to be replanted. Thanks so much for joining me today. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.